This is the Stop Bullying with Tolerance podcast series, coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona, with your host, Anka Wolf. Hello and welcome to yet another podcast in our Stop Bullying series. Today, I am talking about the 7 vital corona precautions for parents and, of course, for children. In this time of anxiety and uncertainty surrounding the virus, and certainly also the fear, we need to take care especially of our kids' souls. And that's the reason why I have 7 vital points for you, which might help you to calm your children. Not talking about something can actually make kids worry more. And then the conversation needs to be developmentally appropriate. And, it's interesting, but sometimes we can take cues from our children. And number 4 would be deal with our own anxiety. 5, be reassuring. Stick to the routine. And number 7 is keep on talking with your children. So I urge you, don't be afraid to discuss the coronavirus. Most children have already heard about the virus or seen people wearing a face mask. So parents should not avoid talking about the topic. The more you speak, the more you find out what your children feel. And that is very, very important. So let me jump right into the topic and begin with not talking about something can actually make kids worry more. Any conversation about the virus, I would say you can look at the conversation as an opportunity to convey the facts and set the emotional tone. It's very important that you take the news and filter that for your children, because you know best which language, which words and tone in your voice you need to use. But your goal needs to be to help your children feel informed and get fact-based information that is likely more reassuring than whatever they're hearing from their friends or on the news. And my own suggestion, keep them away from the news. All of it sounds so negative, and your child's soul does not need to be inundated with those news. The number 2 point to me is quite important. Being developmentally appropriate means you don't need a 2 or 3-year-old to know about it. You just assure your child that you are there to protect them, to take care of them. Mommy and daddy, they do the right thing. You are safe. But when kids go in kindergarten or even preschool, they come home with questions or even depressed and sad. So don't volunteer too much information because it might overwhelm them. Instead, try to answer your child's question with a question. How do you feel about it? Or what did you feel when he or she said that, or when you saw that picture? Do your best to answer honestly and very clear. Not long-winded, but short, truthful, and clear. It's always okay if you can't answer everything. But if you tell your child, I don't know right now, darling, let me check on it, and I will give you the answer as best as I can. And being available to your child is what really matters. And here, in this other point, Take your cues from your child. Pay attention to what he or she is not telling you. Invite your child to tell you anything they may have heard about the virus. And then ask them how they feel. You'd be astonished how much comes out of that answer or the silence. And you can, right there, you can keep on talking. Give them ample opportunity to ask questions. As I said, even if you don't have all the answers, make sure that you will say to them, I will get the answer, or let's find out, and go research to them together. Children will tell you by silence or many words. You want to be prepared for the answers, but and to answer their question, but don't overdo it. Your goal is to avoid and encouraging frightening fantasies. That's why the children need short, truthful answers. Here's point number 4, which is very, very important. Dealing with your own anxiety. Totally normal that you are nervous, fearful, stressed, worried, the whole lexicon, right? When you're feeling most anxious or panicked, that isn't the time to talk to your kids about what's happening with the coronavirus, warns Dr. Dominguez and Dr. Jamie Howard. If you notice that you are feeling anxious, take some time to calm down. Do a meditation. Sit under a tree. Ask your child to give mommy a few minutes. And that is very important before you're trying to have a conversation and answering your child's questions, and you don't have the answer. Then what happens? It gets even more filled with anxiety and worries. It's very, very important to be reassuring. As you probably know yourself, children are pretty egocentric. So hearing about the coronavirus in the news might even be enough to make them seriously worry about that they'll catch it. Or even the 6-year-old of a dear friend of mine asked, am I going to die, Mommy? Of course not. But these fears are in your child's mind. And sometimes, many times, they won't express it unless you build that bridge and allow them to talk. And when you're seriously worried, believe me, they'll catch it. They feel it. So reassure your child that the coronavirus is really a dangerous virus, contagious. But reassure your child about how rare corona actually is. And that kids actually seem to have milder symptoms. And that you will together get through that. Another point is focus on what you're doing to stay safe, which I think is very, very important. An important way to reassure kids is to emphasize the safety precaution that you're taking. You're washing your hands, you have a hand sanitizer, when you wash your hands, you do 20 minutes soap, warm water. You use and disinfecting swipes. So use that, show it, practice it with the children. Teach your child that the suggestions or even rules and regulations from the government and the CDC are to stay away from other people, at least 6 feet. When we can't visit because somebody is ill, then there's always the phone, and we can text and message and call. And believe me, kids feel empowered when they know what to do to keep themselves safe. And now with most kids, or let's say more and more kids, are staying home from school. These points are very, very important for the families. We know that the coronavirus is transmitted mostly by coughing and touching surfaces. So coughing, we're doing it, children and adults, into the elbow. We don't just cough out in the air. And when children learn that, they make it their own, and they feel important, that they contribute to not spreading the virus. Washing thoroughly our hands with soap and lukewarm water is most important, not just 5 seconds, no, at least 20. So remind children that they are taking care of themselves, and at the same time also of others. When they come from outside, before they eat, and after blowing their nose, coughing, sneezing, or using the bathroom, children ought to wash their hands. But parents, believe me, you need to be the role model. And if kids ask about a face mask, they might have seen that already, or out in the street, or maybe on TV. Explain that those people with the mask are super cautious to protect themselves and others. If kids see people wearing the face mask, as I said, not only is CDC recommending it, but you can explain that those people are being extra cautious. Now, this point here in our list is stick to routine. That's not always easy. I know that, especially when children are home from school now. Kids don't like uncertainty. Uncertainty, not knowing what is the whole thing about the virus, and uncertainty without routine. So as much as you possibly can, stick to the routine, meaning get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, do homework, work with your child. I know I'm saying things which is very, very difficult. But we need to pull together, all of us. I urge you to give your child the certainty of a routine. Create your own routine, but stick to it. When it's predictable, kids will be easier to handle. This is very important for your child's school or daycare if they're shut down. Make sure that you're taking care of the basic, just like you were doing in a spring break or a summer vacation. You can structure your days with a regular set of meal times and bedtimes. And that is an essential part of keeping kids happy and healthy. Let me close asking you, keeping on talking with your children about the virus is very, very important. Try not to say, I told you yesterday. No, every moment, every bit, new things come up in the child's mind, and they need to ask or they need to talk. Tell children that they can come with any question. Be there for them. Continue to keep them updated as you learn more. Let them know that the lines of communications are open. Very, very important. Psychologists say that every day. You can absolutely say, mommy or daddy, I don't know every answer to every question. But if you don't, tell them at this moment you don't know, and that you will find out. And then go back to your child. Listen, remember we had that question yesterday? Now I have the answer. It's super, super important. Believe me, your child will trust you and will come with questions to you, which is very, very important for your communication and for the soul health and balance of your child and for yourself. And today, in closing, I need to let you know that I have created and posted a video for kids on how to prevent and deal with coronavirus. Check it out. I posted it on tolerance.com, the website, and on Facebook/Tolerance. Please know that I love to hear from you and connect with me for any question at all, and send your emails to tolerancefoundation@gmail.com. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. I'm signing off till next week with a heartfelt aho.